Now, she did that on purpose. All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. This is Brandon coming to you on Tuesday with another reaction to Victorious. This is episode 12 called Cat's New Boyfriend. I don't know where we're going with this one other than, well, the obvious. And I do see Cat here. I think this is Jade to the right. And this guy that I've never seen before on the show. Is this the boyfriend that we're hearing about in the title? I do see them at the school, so I'm assuming there's going to be plenty of school scenes for me to talk about. I will probably mention this on every reaction video in the series, but I did, in addition to being a principal, spend 2 years as an assistant principal at an art school exactly like Hollywood Arts. Well, maybe not exactly, but very, very similar. The more I watch this show, the more it really takes me back to that period of time in my life. But I'm really loving it so far, this series. Thank you all for putting me onto this series, but I can't wait to see what this episode has in store for us today. If you're enjoying this series and you're not yet a subscriber, take a minute to click the button below and become one. I would really, really appreciate your support in that way. Also, feel free to give the video a like or comment down below and let me know what you think of my reaction. Let's get into the episode.
Ah!
Danny!
Hey, you go to school here?
Yeah, you know I left Sherwood.
Right, but I just didn't know where. Isn't this school for like really talented kids who...
Oh, got himself into some trouble. So I'm just guessing this is going to be the boyfriend that the title is alluding to, and Tori obviously knows this guy from her previous school. If you remember from the very first episode that I took a look at, check out my reaction if you still haven't seen it for some reason, but she basically fills in for her sister on a performance and ends up getting a spot at the school based on that performance alone. And she leaves her school, and this guy obviously went to her former school, but let's see what happens next here.
I did not mean...
No, keep talking. You're doing great.
Sorry.
It's cool.
So when did you get into performing?
Oh, see, my sister's tongue got all big and swollen, and here I
That's
am.
what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
So who's that?
This is Danny.
Hey, what's up?
Why are you talking to Tori?
He goes to my old school.
Sherwood.
He was my boyfriend.
Girlfriend.
So why'd you dump her?
Jade. It almost sounded like Jade knew Danny before this. And look at Tori's face. I love that she's like, what are you doing? And Jade, I don't know. Sometimes she's just mean for mean's sake. She's sort of mean-spirited all the time, which you would think that Jade would be kind of happy because she's so protective of Beck in this way, but apparently she's just going to be mean here.
Jade?
Can I guess? Because I got a lot
Oh
of guesses.
no. Oh no.
I'm actually...
You don't have to.
Tori broke up with me.
Oh, and how did you celebrate?
Ooh, man, Jade, you just pipe down just a little bit. You don't have to be quite that mean.
Do you ever take a day off?
So, what you doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Well, I've kind of been dating this girl that, goes here. And I was supposed
Cat?
to meet her.
Daniel! This is the guy I've been telling you about.
Okay, so, that's fine, but he would not be able to just show up there, especially if school is in session. And it sort of looks like it is. If it's after school, the kids would not be allowed to just hang out freely and just hang around. That does have a tendency to lead to trouble in most schools, including the art school that I actually was an administrator at. I do remember vividly, we would literally kick all the kids out of the school the second the bell rang. You could not just stay around. Now, you could, obviously, if you had theater practice, if you had some sort of band practice or chorus or some art event going on or whatever. If you had a legitimate reason for being there after school, you would just go to whatever classroom or whatever stage or venue you were supposed to go to, and you would have your practice. But otherwise, we would quite literally kick all the students out. And so you would not be able to hang around like this. Now, if it's during school hours, of course, all these students would be allowed to be here, but Danny would not. You can't just come into a school and hang out with the person that you're dating. It doesn't work like that.
Daniel, these are my friends, Beck, Jade, and that's Tori.
Yeah, we've met.
Really? You know Daniel?
Uh-oh, is this going to be a problem? And you see Jade. I paused it right here. You see Jade's face kind of lit up when Kat said that. She just can't wait to get a barb in here.
Oh, she knows Daniel.
So,
So,
how come everyone's being all weird?
I'll tell her.
no, you won't.
Cat, I used to go to Sherwood with Danny before I came to school here.
Oh, so you guys were friends.
Yeah, poor Cat. She's so, I don't even know what to call it. I want to be nice, but, you know, she doesn't pick up on things very well. Let's just say that.
Danny and I used to date.
Hey, why don't we walk over to some other location?
Okay, wait, so
That's pretty good. So Jade, of course, she probably wants to get her, bowl of popcorn and just watch this go down. And then Beck's just like, he doesn't even try, subterfuge or whatever. He's just like, let's go to some other location. That's pretty good.
you and Tori were like,
Girlfriend,
Boyfriend.
please don't feel weird about this.
You really shouldn't. I mean, we broke up a year ago.
Yeah, it's been a year.
It's only been 11 months.
What difference does it make?
Forget it.
Oh. 11 months. And that sort of reminds me, I don't know why I thought it was so funny. In the episode Jade Dumps Beck, it's one of my favorites. That one and the stage fighting and Roborazzi. There's been so many of my favorites. I think they're all kind of my favorite. I've liked this show so much. Thank you again for putting me onto the show. Anyway, I do remember there was a line that was so funny when Tori says, oh, Beck says you haven't done anything nice to him in a year. And then Jade's like, oh, that's not true, as if to say that she has been nice, but no. She says, no, we've only been dating a year and 11 months. Or it was 2 years versus a year and 11 months.
Said you haven't done one nice thing for him in 2 years.
That is so not true. We've only dated a year and 11 months.
That was pretty funny. Sort of reminds me of that line here.
Point is, I'm totally cool with you guys dating.
And I'm totally cool that you two are friends.
well, okay then. It's all happy.
Hey.
I'm bored now.
Guess who?
What are you doing here?
I had a half day. Thought I'd come visit you for lunch.
Aww.
Well, this is so nice. Daniel gets to have lunch with his new girlfriend.
Yeah, and by the way, he mentions that he's visiting her at lunch. Once again, you really can't do that. You couldn't do that even at this time when the show was produced, even less so now. I would say that the way school safety is today in 2026, this would be like unthinkable. Like you can't just come onto a school campus. Even at an outside eating area like this, you cannot do it. These areas, even though they're outside and may not be always behind a fence or whatever, many times nowadays they are, but you can't just, come back here. These areas, these outdoor areas of the school are very tightly watched and monitored not only by the school staff, but by school cameras. And somebody just showing up and sitting down with a student like this would prompt immediate action by the school. So just know that this would not be allowed to happen.
So, did you invite Daniel to the kickback?
Oh my god, I forgot.
Kickback?
Yeah, once every semester the school lets us have a Saturday night party right here in the parking lot.
Live music, cheese fountain.
Cheese fountain?
Cheddar.
Cheddar, like that's the best kind. And a kickback. Okay. And what they're describing is basically a little party or a little dance or whatever it's going to be in the parking lot. That's not totally unrealistic if it's on school grounds and the school is monitoring it and the staff is there. I mean, that's not unrealistic.
Will you come?
Yeah, totally.
Tori, will you be at the kickback?
Yes, Jade, I will be.
And you notice that Daniel says he's going to come, and I don't know what their policy is on this. I do know that at a school dance or the prom, which is, I guess, the closest thing to this, outside guests are typically allowed, but they're very tightly controlled. Usually what happens at most high schools, including art schools like Hollywood Arts, is there's a process for getting the principal or the administrator at the guest school to sign off saying, hey, they're in good standing, they're not going to cause any problems. Many times as principal, I would have to sign off on our students that were attending other proms or other school dances saying that they're in good standing, that they don't have any major discipline history or whatever, and that I'm basically vouching for them saying, hey, I don't think this person is going to cause any problems. So I guess theoretically, if the principal over at Sherwood, I think it was called, signs the form, if Hollywood Arts has this, allowing Daniel to come or Danny to come, then he can do that.
Oh, guess what I made?
Oh, what'd you make?
Brownies.
Wow.
Sorry, Danny doesn't like brownies.
Everyone likes brownies.
Uh-oh.
Open.
Yeah. Wow. These are really good.
What?
He said Cat's brownie is really good.
And, you know, I don't condone this. Jade is intentionally trying to sow jealousy, and I don't know why she even cares. Just to torture Tori in some way or hurt her, it's really not great. Now, even though she's doing all this, I still think Trina is far worse. This show doesn't have a great set of characters because I've seen both Trina and Robbie and Jade do some pretty horrible things here, but apparently Jade just wants to be mean-spirited in this episode. All right, we're here at the kickback. And you know, I have seen something similar to this, maybe not with quite so much outside dancing, but I have seen little outdoor party areas like this, maybe at a school dance or the prom or whatever. You have like an outside part that students can go out to, but this is a little different. I think we can all admit that. I'm waiting to see, you know, what sort of supervision is here. This isn't ridiculous or unrealistic or whatever. There would just need to be some structure and some student supervision by the staff. I'm just waiting to see it here. Okay. Are there Sikowitz?
Tori! How are you enjoying your first Hollywood Arts kickback?
It's really fun.
Okay.
Would you like a sausage?
Sure. Okay.
Excellent. I'll just impale it with this stick. Here you go.
Thanks.
Nothing wrong with this little party. I would expect there to be a few other staff members, but if there are, and Sikowitz is there too, there's nothing wrong with it.
Daniel ever spin you like that?
You want to get slapped with a sausage?
Sure.
What? Now, she did that on purpose, and I don't care how jealous she is or whatever she's going through, that would get her a potential suspension here. You cannot do that. And I'm pretty sure I saw the guidance counselor here also, so apparently they have a pretty good representation from their staff here to supervise. So again, nothing wrong with this little party or kickback, they call it.
You got cheese in our hair!
Oh, cheese.
Why did you do that?
I don't.
There's not really a good answer for that, you know? I don't know what she's going to say here, but it's not a great answer.
I don't know. I just.
When all else fails, just run away, I guess. Run away without really giving a response. Not a great look.
You see, this is what happens when you mix teenagers and hot cheese. I warned you.
What?
Yo, Tori!
We saw you run in here.
And by the way, if this dance, or I call it a dance, it's a little party, it's a kickback or whatever, they would not be allowed to come in the building. Every event like that I've ever seen or been a part of, as cool as it was, they would usually rope off or cut off part of the school that is being used for the event and not allow anyone into any other part, especially this black box theater. They wouldn't be allowed to just go in here during the kickback. He's in
Yo,
the
Tori!
tent. Oh no.
Leave me alone.
What up with the hot cheese attack on Cat?
And her boyfriend.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, is Jade gonna lay off with this? Because obviously Tori is hurt. She should not have done what she did, but she really needs to extend some help here, or some helpful advice of some sort.
I don't know. I mean, I'm so not the jealous type. I've never, ever done anything like that before, but I just lost it for a second. And the next thing I knew, my hand was on the cheese valve. I have to go apologize to them. Danny.
Hi.
Where's Cat?
Oh, she's still trying to get cheese out of her ear.
Yeah, and you know, he sort of has a right to be upset. Again, they would not be allowed just inside the school like this with nobody around, but hopefully she'll apologize and at least try to make it right somehow.
Oh. All right, listen. I have no idea why I did that.
Were you jealous?
No.
Because it doesn't make sense for you to be jealous. You broke up with me.
I know. It makes zero sense.
And you know, Kat is not great with words or articulating her thoughts very well, so she just like makes a noise here. And this is not a great situation. I'm hoping that they can work it out because they're all friends. Let's see what happens here.
Cat!
Oh my God, Cat!
What? That's just a wee bit dramatic, don't you think? And something like this, I mean, right in the middle of everybody, that's going to prompt the administrators to respond to that. I mean, this is crazy. If I'm an administrator and I see this, I'm thinking, okay, a fight is about to happen. Even if a fight is not about to happen, there's a potential for that. I have been in many schools where, you know, everything's okay, and then you have somebody who attacks someone else or is running after someone else, and you can only assume that there is at least the possibility of this turning violent. So you sort of have to run over, and one of the few cases where you put your hands on students, which you generally don't, but if harm is happening or harm is imminent, you are authorized to do so, and you sort of have to separate these girls if something like this were to happen.
Gotcha! Let go! No! We have to go talk!
I don't want to talk to you! I don't want to get on, Cat!
Now, grabbing her like that is not good. Now, if that's as far as she goes, I'm not going to call it a potential suspension. Now, she would probably get some lesser form of consequence if Kat goes to the administration and says, I don't want to talk to her. I understand that maybe we need to talk at some point, but I'm not ready to do so, and I don't want to talk to her. I don't have to. I'm not required to. And, you know, she would be right in that. They might recommend that you talk to her, but nobody's going to force that. And for her to grab her is totally inappropriate. She would probably end up getting some lesser form of discipline. She would probably not be suspended for this by itself unless she goes further with this.
I need a teacher! Please, teacher!
Hello, girls! Can you believe I scored tickets to Hall and Oates?
That's a potential firing. That's a potential firing. So you see all these people standing around. Like, is Sikowitz the only teacher in the entire school at this point? I've seen a few other teachers, but if Kat is screaming at the top of her lungs like that, there's going to be someone there pretty much instantly, within, say, 30 seconds at least. And that's, I think, pretty conservative. Because you see all these people standing around. Anytime students are going from class to class, or there's a lot of kids in one area like this, there's going to be at least one or two staff members there just sort of supervising at all times. That's been the case in every single school I've ever been a part of, including the art school, mind you. And for Sikowitz to walk across and see this and just ignore it, that's a potential firing.
All right. Here we go!
Okay, now I think we've entered the land of the potential suspension. This is another potential suspension for Tori. I'm sorry, she cannot go quite this far. I understand that she wants to work this out with Kat, but you're not allowed to force people to talk to you. You could go to the counselor and say, hey, I'm trying to work this out. Can you help? Can you talk to Kat by herself and see if she's willing to talk to me and do a little like peer mediation? That is something that counselors do, but you can't force people and you can't like drag them across the floor. I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. This is a potential suspension for Tori.
Stop this from happening? Oh, it's okay. She enjoys this. Let me out, Cat.
Yeah, so this is just going to be that same second potential suspension here.
Kidnapping! More catnapping!
You know, you got to admit, that's kind of funny.
Open the door. I'm sorry. And I'm not just saying I'm sorry. I'm really, really, seriously sorry.
Why would you be mean to me?
I don't know. Maybe I did still have a few tiny little feelings left for Danny. And maybe that's why I went a little crazy, seeing you two being all mushy together.
Could have just talked to me about it.
This is true. This is true. She could have just talked to her about it. I mean, in this instance, Kat is 100% right.
I know. What I did was terrible and awful and immature, and you have every right to be furious with me. I swear, Kat, if I were you, I'd just punch me right in the face. Ow!
I'm sorry. That's a potential suspension for Kat. I mean, you're not allowed to do that. I've had many instances in the past as an assistant principal at the art school, and especially as a principal at other schools, where, students would get confused about this. They would have someone who would wrong them. They would do something to them that is not physical, right? They would say something, they would do something on social media, and so people would think that that would give them the absolute right to walk up to someone and punch them in the face, and it doesn't work like that. I've had so many conversations with students where I would say, okay, words are here, punching someone is right here. Like they're not on the same level. So if you don't get anything out of this, please learn that if you happen to be still in school, you cannot hit someone for something that they do to you where they're not actively attacking you. You can defend yourself, but that is very limited. You can't punch someone for something that they did long in the past or said to you.
Cat!
What?
You just punched me in the face!
You said to.
Yeah, and if I were Tori, I probably would not have said that to Kat because she does tend to take things very much at face value. I mean, word for word, literally. So part of me is not surprised that she did that, although I sort of was surprised that she just hauled off and punched her.
I think my nose may be broken.
Well, now I feel all bad.
Don't. I deserved it. Feel better?
I think so.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, where do they go from here? Hopefully they can be friends again, although this is a really, really weird resolution, but they do need to move on here. In my career, I've never seen one person punch another person in the face and then they have a hug. I've never seen that before. All right, well, that is basically the episode. That one was a really fun one. I would give that one probably a 9.5 out of 10. A lot of really interesting caveats in there with the kickback and the whole relationship issue and Mr. Sikowitz getting a potential firing and Tori getting potential suspensions and then Kat getting one. This was a really crazy episode. If you're enjoying this series on Tuesdays, please let me know that in the comments. It's really encouraging to hear from you all about that. Also, don't forget to subscribe down below. And if you're already subscribed, please give the video a like before you leave this page. But I'm going to leave the video here. I'll see you on my next video here on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.